Hey, good afternoon guys. I'm Nate. I'm a creative professional here in Charlotte, and I'm here today to show you how to do a really cool pumpkin carving design that will impress all your friends, and something a little bit out of the ordinary, but still simple enough for you to do at home. Okay, first of all, this is the design we're doing today. It's a simple tree with a pumpkin, kind of a cool moonlit background effect. And the first step here, once you have your design on paper, is to transfer that to the pumpkin surface so that you can then carve it. So you want to first trim out around the edge of your design so you can get a nice round piece of sheet of paper here for your pumpkin. And the next thing you want to do is take some tape and just get this thing where you want it, and just tape it on. Okay, our next step here is to, like I said, transfer the design to the pumpkin. So I have here a little tracing wheel. It's a little serrated wheel. I picked this up in a little pumpkin carving kit a couple years ago, and there's more than one way to do it. You can use a pin or a needle as well, just to poke holes around your pattern, which is what this does, but it's just easier because you can roll it around the design to transfer it onto the pumpkin. And it just creates small little holes in the surface so you'll be able to see it without actually drawing on it. Well, our next step here is going to take what we just transferred to the pumpkin and start carving. So I'm going to be using a small detail saw. Again, this was bought with a pumpkin carving kit, and it comes with a variety of different tools, from saws this big to depending on what you're cutting. So the idea here is to first start with the smaller pieces and cut out your detail tiny pieces first, because if you do that later, you can end up damaging and breaking pieces off, which ruin your pumpkin. You're going to start over. So when you carve, one of the more important things to think about when you're carving when you're cutting is to cut at an angle away from the hole that you're cutting out, so that you can push the piece back into the pumpkin. It's easier to remove, as well as when you light it up from the inside, you won't have extra the flesh of the pumpkin sticking into your carving. So it'll kind of just show the inside of the pumpkin versus the sides of the actual piece you're cutting out. So guys, when you're done carving, this is kind of what it should end up looking like. And as you can see, inevitably there's going to be some pieces that are really thin in this design in particular. So I don't have any toothpicks here, but a lot of times you could take toothpicks and small pieces and connect these broken flaps, and they'll hold together pretty well. When your pumpkin's finished, you got your lid that you can put back on, and there are multiple ways you can light your pumpkin. Obviously, you can do the traditional candle route where you light the candle, but then there's also other options, such as these little LED pucks. You can purchase these online, and they have their color changing features, so you can drop it in. There's no fire hazard. You can use them indoors and all that. They can change colors if you want to do a green or an orange or blue or anything. You can do that as well with this type of thing. And another little trick I like to do, instead of dropping your candle or your light in from the top, you can go to the bottom after you're done or before you start and cut a hole in the bottom of the pumpkin and just push your light down. You can sit your pumpkin on top of it, so that you don't have to reach in if you're lighting a candle or whatever. So it's a little easier to light it.